Hi everyone and welcome to Protocol 36, and in today's video I'll be listing of the top 10 Miles Morales suits that are needed in Marvel Spider-Man 2, which is going to be in no particular order. 2 years ago I did a similar video by listing of the top 5 suits I wanted for Spider-Man Miles Morales, and I thought to do the same thing for Marvel Spider-Man 2, but this time a more polished video and add 5 more suits similar to Peter Parker, but obviously this time with Miles, especially with the fact that after those 2 years Miles was given brand new suits in the comics and other mediums, and I'm going to be picking suits that weren't in his solo game. Beware though, this is just my opinion, so if there's a suit that you really wanted but isn't on the list, that's cool. Let me know your list down in the comments below and I would love to read them. But before we get started, if at any point you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate if you could give this video a like, as that would really help out the channel. Thank you. Now starting off with number 10, the Absolute Carnage suit. Even though this design has the least likeliest chance to make it into the game, it would still be cool to have it as an unlockable suit. I don't know if KyZmA are ever going to adapt the Absolute Carnage storyline in a future game, but if not, then I think this would be a perfect addition to Marvel Spider-Man 2, especially when Miles doesn't exactly have a lot of suits compared to Peter, thanks to him being a very recent character in the comics. Plus the game is also dealing with the symbiotes, specifically the Venom symbiote, even if it's just Venom, which makes sense to me, but if they decide not to add it, then I wouldn't be surprised. Number 9, the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse What's Up Danger suit. I think it's safe to say that the What's Up Danger suit is one of the most beloved suits ever for Miles, probably even the most beloved, and rightfully so. It was also the number 1 suit I wanted for Spider-Man Miles Morales, and even though we didn't really get that thanks to rights issues, we did get something similar in the sportswear suit, but I'm hoping this time we'll get it for Marvel Spider-Man 2. If not, then the suit in the Spider-Man Miles Morales art of the game book cover would be the ideal replacement for me, at least in my opinion. Next, on number 8, Shadow Spider. I think this is a suit everyone wants for Miles, and who can blame them? It looks so cool, unique, and menacing at the same time. I was kind of surprised that KyZmA didn't add it into Spider-Man Miles Morales, but it's possible they're waiting to include it into Marvel Spider-Man 2. At least I really hope so, because just imagining swinging around the suit and doing stealth missions just gives me chills, and I really hope that it's one of the earlier suits we unlock in the game. Number 7, Miles' Cosmic Spider suit. I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I prefer Miles' Cosmic suit over Peter's. Yes, it's basically the exact same suit, apart from the bottom half of the mask to differentiate those two, but still it looks so good and fits way better with the black mask and red webbing. Plus, I think the suit power would be absolutely insane if they add the Cosmic Spider-Man suit. Obviously, they're gonna have to make sure to depower it, and of course not use certain abilities like flight and all that, but it would still be a fun addition. And if I had to choose which cosmic suit was going to make it in Marvel Spider-Man 2, I would 100% choose Miles's. Number 6, the Captain America Spider-Man suit. Even though this isn't exactly a suit Miles wore in the comics, it was in the comic cover of Miles Morales Spider-Man issue 28, and weirdly it's a fantastic combination of the iconic colors and styles of both Captain America and Miles' Spider-Man suit, which is kind of funny given that they're both from Brooklyn. Even though Cap will most likely not be in Marvel Spider-Man 2 and will have his own game with Azuri, who is the Black Panther of the 1940s, we do know he exists thanks to Peter's comment in the Heist DLC of Peter knowing someone with an even cooler shield, so adding that suit would be a pretty great Easter egg to that character, even if it won't impact the story, kinda like the comic accurate Iron Spider suit in the first game. Number 5, the Vintage Comic suit. For the Vintage Comic suit, I really hope that KyZmA looks at the different artist designs from the Miles Morales comics and just use them for the game. Any in my opinion would do, but if they do Sarah Pacelli's or Javier Garrón would be awesome. I was also shocked that they didn't add one in Spider-Man Miles Morales, but they did add the animated suit to make up for it, as well as the Into the Spider-Verse suit too, which in my opinion both of them look perfect and are 2 of my favorite suits in the game too. But because Miles doesn't really have a lot of appearances in animated shows, I'd rather this time they would go with a vintage suit straight from the comics, especially seeing the modding community adding different comic book suits in Marvel Spider-Man after it came out on PC, making every suit in that game look perfect. Next, for number 4, Miles' new comic book suit. I believe when this suit was first revealed in Miles' new suit in the 616 universe, people were pretty divided on it, but to be honest, I've always really liked this suit, and I wouldn't mind at all if it became an unlockable in the sequel. However, I do hope if KyZmA decides to add it, that it would be more red than pink, because in my opinion it just looks much better, especially during nighttime. And I'm really curious, do you guys really want to see this suit in Marvel Spider-Man 2 like I do, or not? Especially when it's Miles' most recent suit and is still wearing it in the comics, but I believe he will go back to his classic design soon. Number 3, Miles' new suit in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I think it's safe to say that Miles' new suit in Across the Spider-Verse, especially when the movie is coming out the same year as Marvel Spider-Man 2, and man, I really hope it does, because even though a lot of the design didn't really change, change, minus the lack of web patterns, as well as the spider emblem being very different, it's still a fantastic looking suit. And just like how funny it was swinging around with the Into the Spider-Verse suit in Miles' solo game, I'm definitely gonna have a blast if they add it into Marvel Spider-Man 2. Number 2, Aaron Davis Iron Spider suit. Even though it's obviously not a Miles Morales suit, it is worn by Miles' uncle in the comics, which is basically Peter Parker's old Iron Spider suit from the Civil War arc, swapping out the red for black, which in my opinion just looks much better. And no, it's not because of the color scheme of my channel, though that helps as well, but it was also one of the suits I really wanted in Spider-Man Miles Morales, so I'm really hoping that this time they add it into the sequel. Besides, if Peter can have 2 different looking Iron Spider suits and several suits that's not his in the comics, then why not Miles? Number 1, Miles' Venom symbiote suit from the Dark Age comic. Even though this suit only made one appearance in 2021's Dark Age issue 6, the suit looks so good that it might actually be my favorite suit for Miles Morales ever so far. For those of you who don't know, Marvel's Dark Age comic is basically a story where all of the tech on Earth was basically rendered useless because of an EMP Doctor Strange created in order to stop a powerful machine called the Unmaker, so that the planet could be saved. Unfortunately, it meant that some of the heroes' tech were also affected and basically changed the rest of the world. But sometime after it happened, Miles bonded with the Venom symbiote until he also bonded with the Carnage symbiote, becoming a hybrid of both Carnage and Venom and being forced to work for Apocalypse. And just imagining this suit in Marvel Spider-Man 2 just gives me goosebumps. Given that the game is all about Venom and Peter will no doubt get the black suit, why not let Miles have one as well, which won't even affect the story, with his own additional suit powers too, different from Peter's. Even though this list isn't in any particular order, Miles' Dark Ages symbiote suit is the suit I want the most. But there we go, here's my list. Once again, if there's a costume that you really wanted but wasn't in the video, comment yours down below, I would love to check them out. But if at any point you enjoyed this video, I really appreciate if you could give it a like. I want more, subscribe. To begin, Protocol 36.